You know, one of the most overused terms today, like in culture, is the word triggered. A lot of people will say, I'm triggered by this, or this triggers me. I was watching a lot of videos and a lot of posts about that the other day. People saying, well, these type of people trigger me, and this person triggers me, and that triggers me. It's become a buzzword. Like it's like one of those trendy words that a lot of people utilize. And what it means is certain things cause me to behave in a certain way. Certain things cause me to respond in a certain way. Let me just say this right here. Don't let people trigger you over the holidays that you know gonna trigger you. You know how your aunt is. You know how your daddy is. You know how your uncle is. So saying that your uncle triggered you is really a cop-out, because you already know what he's gonna do. You already know his response. And truth be told, faith and your confession and your position and your disposition can make it to where he don't even make you mad. You ever had somebody that normally makes you mad, that normally does a lot of wild stuff, that normally makes you so angry, and then you come around them, they're so nice, they're so sweet. They do the unexpected. They do something for you, or sometimes they're not even around. They just didn't show up. I'm not saying I don't want your uncle to show up. I'm not saying I don't want your daddy to show up. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying sometimes you worrying about something, you stressing about something, you quote unquote being triggered by something that is not really that big of a deal. And sometimes the very person that you being triggered by is a person you're supposed to help, or somebody you simply need to avoid, or know and operate in wisdom on how to handle them. Like, your uncle don't know what to say. Your brother got a nasty attitude. Your sister got a nasty attitude. You don't like your brother kids. You don't like your uncle. Guess what? And you know what the consistent word in all of that is? You. What if it's you? What if you're the problem? I've heard people talk about somebody triggering them who triggers everybody. Could it be you? Could it be you? Could you be the person who's triggering other people? So you having all these conversations. You calling your girlfriends. You talking to your therapist. You talking to your counselor. You talking to your pastor. You telling your husband. You telling your boyfriend, your fiance, your girlfriend. You telling all them about all these people that trigger you. And really, you the pistol. You the person who doing all the triggering. Cause you the problem. you trying to regulate the behaviors of baby boomers. Let me just say something to us Generation X and Generation Y people. We've done a bad job of preparing ourselves, preparing our children, and trying to control people who don't have access to the information, nor some of the self-reflection skills and books and time that you had. You want your uncle to be emotionally intelligent, and your uncle was intelligent enough to keep a roof over his head. Your uncle was enough to let you borrow some money to get in college. Your uncle was intelligent enough to keep his marriage together, or not to keep his marriage together. Whatever the fact is, you want your uncle to be so emotionally intelligent. You done read a whole book on emotional intelligence, and your pastor did a whole series on emotional intelligence, and he didn't come up like your uncle. He don't know how your uncle came up. He don't realize all the stuff your uncle went through. He don't know the stuff that your uncle went to Vietnam. He don't know that your uncle grew up in the 50s and the 60s, which is the heart of the civil rights movement. He don't know that your uncle had white folks spit in his face. He don't know that somebody dropped a brick on his head on the plant. I'm lying. He don't know all of that. And then you want your uncle to be emotionally intelligent when truth be told, your uncle was just trying to get through the day. And you holding him also accountable because he's not emotionally intelligent. My uncle triggers me. No, maybe God is triggering you to be more loving, to be more kind, to be more self-aware, to be more open, to be less judgmental. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about all the things that we're concerned about, that we have to deal with, that we may have to face going home for the holidays. And we're going to talk about some other fun facts with the holidays. Plus, I want to share something with y'all. Oh, I got an encouragement for y'all. Everybody who is thinking about or going through something or dealing with something, particularly something in your business as an entrepreneur and in ministry or in your career or in your education or even with your children. Anybody who thinking about quitting, boy, I got some encouragement for you today and a precautionary tale. Listen, y'all, call your mama, call your daddy, call your auntie, call your uncle, call your family, call your uncle, the one you don't like, call your auntie, the one who make you mad every year, and let them all know that the Akintunde show is about to start. Let's
another track lay production, but no joke entertainment. Let's go.
Akintunde is gonna make you laugh real loud, so come on, scream it out. Akintunde.
One of the best stories that I have in satisfying one of our clients happened just recently. We had a young lady that was did a family reunion for, and then they came back and placed a reorder. Now, when they placed the reorder, we could not get everything done in time. Well, we had to pull a lot of strings, make some things happen, work a little bit late, but it worked out where we were able to get the t-shirts printed and out for delivery. That's the things that we do for our clients, and we want to do that for you as well.
It's easy to become frustrated when ordering branded products and apparel, but P&B Promotionals is here to help ease those frustrations with their over 800,000 promotional products and apparel. Whether screen printed t-shirts, embroidered polo shirts, stadium cups, umbrellas, or mugs, P&B Promotionals has just what you need. Log on to pbpromotionals.com and start your order now. That's pbpromotionals.com, or send an email to info@pbpromotionals.net. info@pbpromotionals.net.
Imprinting the best for less. P&B Promotionals.
Greetings. I am Darrell Presley, owner and operator of Presley Cares Mortuary Services of West Columbia, South Carolina. Our mission here at Presley's is to provide excellent, quality, superior funeral service to all, regardless of economic status, religion, or race, with our society being embedded with a diverse class of people. Our staff here at Presley's pledges to offer only one class of service, and that is superior. So rendering professional services to the families that call upon us is not an option, it's mandatory. Presley Cares Mortuary Services, where we are caring for you and your loved one.
At my church, we help people get better by teaching them how the word works, and we want to make sure there is no excuse not to get the word. It's our goal to make all of our ministries accessible on every smartphone, tablet, PC, and television connected to the internet. So whether you're a man who needs some wisdom, a woman who needs some encouragement, or a couple who needs guidance, the My Church channel has just what you need. Simply search for the My Church channel on Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV, or visit mychurchchannel.org. You can also download the My Church on the Go app from Apple or Google Play App Store. Constantly on the move? Check out the Word at My Church podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Or simply download the Word at My Church skill on your Alexa-enabled device. But whatever you do, make sure to stay connected. See you soon.
It's the Akintunde Show.
Say what? Say what?
You heard what I said.
That's right, y'all.
The Akintunde Show.
Spell it.
A-K-I-N Tunde.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, sometimes the stuff that be happening behind the scenes is so funny. Oh Jesus. Listen, Listen, looking for promotional products and apparel? Look no further than P&B Promotionals. Place your brand and logo on just about anything with P&B Promotionals. Over 800,000 products, hats, mugs, backpacks, bottles, cups, drinking glasses, lip balm, chewing gum, candy, and of course, t-shirts. P&B Promotionals is a nationally certified advertising institution. Log on to pbpromotionals.com and start your order now. pbpromotionals.com and start your order now. Imprinting the best to a less. P&B Promotionals. All right, family. Well, we got a lot to talk about today. I want to be an encouragement to you up top. Very briefly for the house. And I'm about to bring Pastor Tuck and Donna on screen. But as I bring them up, I want you to be very, very much encouraged. Be very much encouraged not to quit. No matter what you are going through or dealing with, if you're not careful, the spirit of quit can come over you very easily. So last night, y'all know I frequent a website called Company Man. Company Man is a YouTube channel. It's not a website. It's a YouTube channel that oftentimes covers stories of entrepreneurship, whether that be folks that we know of, folks that we have not heard of. It's a really, really, really good YouTube channel. Has some amazing backstories on some of the most iconic brands in all different types of businesses, whether that's fast food, whether that's soft drinks, whether that's medicine. I mean, literally, some great information is on that site, Company Man. And this one particular story that they covered was of Keurig coffee. I don't know if y'all, how many of y'all, I don't know, are aware of Keurig coffee, but Keurig coffee is the inventor or the largest proponent, or I should say inventor of and a distributor of the pod cup coffee. That's the coffee, little small individual coffee cup sizes that you put into the machine, you drop it in, and then it gives you an individual personal cup of coffee. Keurig actually is the company, and it's in their founder. I'm not going to call his name right now, I don't think, because I don't want you to search him out because he's still alive. And I want to be sensitive to the fact of, this man's journey. All right. The founder of Keurig, the founder of Keurig Coffee, he started the company. He put his own money up to start the company. He eventually left his job to build the company. And it got to a point where he was literally living with a friend of his, and that friend it was helping him with the company. And I believe his friend was a partner in the company as well. Well, they've been pushing and producing and creating. It got so bad at one point that the founder actually was having some issues and had to go to the hospital, and they thought that something was like seriously wrong with this man because he was having what looked like a heart attack. What it turned out to be was he had caffeine poisoning from constantly tasting and testing different coffee combinations. But finally, he got it right. He took on some investors, and when he took on the investors, what he planned to happen didn't happen, and his back was against the wall again, and he wound up selling and leaving the company. He sold for $50,000. Hear me out. He sold the creator, the inventor of the entire pod coffee business model. This brother sold the company for $50,000. He walked away. A year later, Keurig Coffee it finally rolls out. It finally comes out to the public. And it started out as a company that was only really delivering those big, huge coffee machines to businesses. You had to have a water line tapped in. It wasn't the user-friendly setup that they have today that many of us have in our home. We had one of ourselves. But finally they got it out to the public, and finally they started making money. And it still was a challenge, but finally they started making money. When Keurig sold the first time, it sold for over $100 million. Mind you, the inventor walked away for $50,000. A year later, the product rolls out. When it sells a few years later, it sells for over $100 million. That's the first time it sold. When it sold the second time, it was over $1 billion. It has an evaluation right now of over $1 billion. I'm saying all that to say, don't quit. Whatever your dream is, don't quit. Don't walk away. Don't leave. Don't turn back. Hang in there. Stay focused. Follow through. Execute. Because there's something where he said, the owner said he wished he'd never invented the pod cup coffee model because it's bad for the environment. And I'm sure it is. Literally, like I think there's been 13 billion cups of Keurig coffee that's been sold. I probably done drunk 1,000 cups myself. Right? But he said he wished he'd never invented the Keurig cup coffee invention. And he said because of the environment. I submit to you, probably that's because of the man is obviously bitter. As would you. I know I would be. If I walked away for 50 grand and somebody sells it for 100 million and then sells it again for over $1 billion. Don't quit, y'all. Don't quit. Speaking of not quitting, two people who hadn't quit, they hadn't quit on me. They had quit on themselves, life, in this wonderful journey. I got some more encouragement a little bit later on for us older people, because these two people are both older than me. Y'all welcome to the show, Donna J and Pastor Tuck. How y'all doing? What's going on, people?
Doing good, doing well today. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Everything is running rampant today.
Rampant.
I don't know what it is, but
yeah.
But we're here.
We're here. We're here.
Can't stop, never stop, don't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Never stop.
Yeah, never
All
stop.
right.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Pastor Lewis Tucker, how you doing, sir? Can we hear you? Can we hear Pastor Tucker? Pastor Tucker, can you hear us?
He's talking.
Okay. Let me make sure he's in got him in hold on. Make sure we got him in okay, he's unmuted. Got him muted? What about now? Can you hear us now?
He's talking. I can see him talking
Okay.
in Clubhouse.
All right.
But he's not. Can't hear him. Woo!
All right. Can we hear you now, Pastor Tuck?
He's still talking.
All right. What about now? All right. Know what that mean? Go to break.
Commercial break.
We'll be right back. We feel what's going, Pastor Tuck.
Hello, my name is Dr. Damon Daniels with Pathways to Wellness, a division of Wellspring Family Medicine. We're excited to be partnering with the Healthy Laughter comedy series. Our vision at Wellspring Family Medicine is to bring you the most up-to-date, cutting-edge medical tests to help you optimize your health. For instance, we have a pain-free, simple tool that takes 20 minutes to help you understand your heart disease risk. In addition, we'll be offering online courses to help you manage your diabetes, high blood pressure, or high cholesterol better. So connect with us on Facebook at Wellspring Family Medicine to take advantage of all the offerings we'll have to help you live a healthier, happier life.
At my church, we help people get better by teaching them how the word works. And we want to make sure there is no excuse not to get the word. It's our goal to make all of our ministries accessible on every smartphone, tablet, PC, and television connected to the internet. So whether you're a man who needs some wisdom, a woman who needs some encouragement, or a couple who needs guidance, the My Church channel has just what you need. Simply search for the My Church channel on Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV, or visit mychurchchannel.org. You can also download the My Church on the Go app from Apple or Google Play App Store. Constantly on the move? Check out the Word at My Church podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Or simply download the Word at My Church skill on your Alexa-enabled device. But whatever you do, make sure to stay connected. See you soon.
All right. Oh, yeah. Listen. Mary Kay is celebrating 60 years in business and still going strong with quality skincare and beauty products, plus career opportunities with flexibility. Listen, y'all, if you want to get some good information about skincare, as well as some great products and some wonderful, awesome holiday packages, contact Marcel Robinson McBride at 803-406-0489 to set up a free skincare session or learn more about the opportunity. That's 803-406-0489 to set up a free skincare session and get your talk on with my sister Marcel. Make sure you tell you heard about it on the Akintunde show, Mary Kay Cosmetics, and your personal representative, Marcel Robinson McBride. All right, family. Let's hope these technical issues are better now. Let me make sure we can hear Pastor Tuck. Let's bring him on. Let's bring Don and Pastor Tuck back onto the screen. All right.
We're here.
All right.
All right.
Can we hear Pastor Tuck now? Still can't hear? I can hear you faintly, interestingly enough. You're muted in Clubhouse. Unmute yourself in Clubhouse. I can faintly hear. Can y'all Clubhouse? Can y'all hear Pastor Tuck in Clubhouse? Yeah, can y'all hear? Y'all can't hear Pastor Tuck. Okay, so all right, so that's something on our end here. Yeah, I don't know. I am totally confused about what's going on there.
What's going on?
Yeah. Well, let me see. We're gonna figure that out, and in the meantime, between time, I'll let y'all know about a couple things. Listen, I'll be coming to Atlanta on December the 8th. I'll be at Linked Up Church in Atlanta, Georgia for their couples comedy show, a big couples December comedy show. I'll be there and on our Love and Laughter comedy tour. So make sure y'all in the house, if y'all can get more information about that, you can log on to linkedupchurch.com and get more information about the Atlanta, Georgia tour stop for the Love and Laughter tour. Again, shout out to Pastor Joel and Pastor Trish Gregory, the founders and pastors of Linked Up Church, and Eunice and I glad to be in the house, sharing a little bit of love and a little bit of laughter with the Linked Up Church family. I love Linked Up Church. What just an amazing church that is consistent with teaching the Word of God, and they like having fun and doing non-traditional ministry events, for which for me is so dope and so amazing. But make sure y'all in the house. Also, y'all, we got a lot of new dates that's coming onto the calendar right there. I'll be at Living the Word Christian Center in Slidell, Louisiana, with Pastor Lawrence Weathersby and Pastor Shakita Weathersby. Y'all make sure y'all in the house for that for New Year's Eve, and that will be live on the My Church channel. So that's going to be an amazing time there for us to have a good time, some good laughs, and some amazing word from Pastor Weathersby. You're going to get a good New Year's kickoff. That's going to be live on coming to you live on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, everywhere that you have your smart TVs. The My Church channel is there, and you can enjoy and get your laugh on and enjoy everything there that's coming up this New Year's Eve. Yes. All right. Pastor Tuck is still muted. He's still showing up as muted in Clubhouse, and I don't know exactly why, because I can see him, but I saw that they said that they can hear you on YouTube but not on Clubhouse. Don't really know why. Yeah, that's interesting. That's technology, y'all. We're gonna figure it out. It's little stuff that is a problem. Donna, what you do this weekend? What'd you get into this weekend?
Oh man, not too much this weekend. But I want to do a shout out today, a very, very special shout out.
Yes.
Because
this is a special shout out. Just go to full screen on Donna.
32 years ago today, I was laid up in the hospital, giving birth to my daughter, Jenna. So she's my only child, only daughter, only child. And I must say,
Yeah.
when I found out I was pregnant and I wanted to have I wanted to have the child, and I wanted a boy. And so God gave me a girl. But see, God in his wisdom gave me a girl because that young lady has been the inspiration for my life. She is wise. She is smart. She's generous. She's kind. She is a fierce tiger for her children. Her two little boys, Max and Miles. Hi, Max and Miles. And God couldn't have given me a better gift in life. I was floating around doing craziness and whatnot, but when I had her, I realized I had to settle down. Now, I didn't have her until I was 32 when I had her. So she's the age today that I was when I gave birth to her.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of like full circle, right?
Wow. Wow.
Yep. So I just want to say to Jenna, thank you for being in my life.
Yeah.
We often say that the children in heaven choose their parents, and she used to tell me when she was little that God showed her a picture of me and she chose me.
Oh.
So I was like, really? Oh my gosh. So whether they're closer to heaven than we are, when they come out, they just left. That's what I'm saying. So maybe that might be true, but I just want to say to my daughter Jenna, happy, happy, happy birthday. You are the light of my life, even though it looks like the grandkids are, but it's actually you.
It's hilarious.
It's actually you. And I just want to say happy birthday to you and many, many more. You are wonderful, kind. You're everything. You're everything to me. And I just want to let you publicly know that you mean the world to me.
Wow.
I could ask for no better daughter.
Wow.
So she raised me. I didn't raise her. She raised me.
we have to unpack that at some point. Like,
I was doing things, but I didn't have any focus. And when God gave me her and I had to be responsible for her. That changes your life when you have to know that you are responsible for another human being.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't change your life, it ought to.
Yeah.
And so that put a lot of things into perspective for me.
Yeah.
And I settled down. Now, was I the best mother? No, I wasn't, because I was still learning. She was still raising me, so I was still learning. But it was great, and she was great. And, I can't say enough words about her.
Wow.
I'll just start boo-hoo. But I just want to say happy birthday, Jenna. I love you, love you, love you. And, many, many more. And my cousin Phyllis Corley in New York, her birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, Phyllis. I love you. You like my sister. I love you, love you, love you as well.
Praise God. Shout out to Jenna. What a lovely, sweet, and just kind little lady. I mean, I'm saying little lady like she's a child, but she's an adult, but she's a very sweet and kind, and I really appreciate y'all's relationship and her and the mother that she is, raising them kids and working with Quan and them building a family, doing what's required in life. So shout out to the family, shout out to the crew. Happy birthday, Jenna.
She's sticking in there. She is sticking in there, and that's what she has taught me. Hang in there, and that's part of what we were talking about today about don't quit.
Yeah, don't quit. Don't quit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jaleel, bring Pastor Tuck in through eCam and let's see what the audio sounds like through there. Pastor Tuck, what to do, sir? Can we hear you now? Bet you that'll do it. Okay. All right. While we getting Pastor Tuck's audio straight, I still want to go back to this. That sounds good. There we go.
Hey,
there we
Pastor
go.
Tuck.
All right.
Hey.
There it is. Pastor Tuck is coming
Clubhouse,
through.
all right.
Yeah. Clubhouse, y'all good? Can y'all hear Pastor Tuck there? Yes. Awesome. Listen.
All right.
All right. We got a signal. We got a feed on Pastor Tuck. So I definitely want to get y'all both thoughts on the before we switch to the topic, which is
They said
home for the
hear echo.
home for the holidays. Say again.
They said they got an echo on
We got an
Clubhouse.
echo on Clubhouse. All right. So let's do this. Let's go to break, Jaleel. Go to break. We'll be right back because I don't want to. This is two good topics that I want to make sure we don't have any technical difficulties or issues while we have these conversations. All right, family, stay right there. Don't y'all move. This is Akintunde Show.
Greetings. I am Darrell Presley, owner and operator of Presley Cares Mortuary Services of West Columbia, South Carolina. Our mission here at Presley's is to provide excellent, quality, superior funeral service to all, regardless of economic status, religion, or race, with our society being embedded with a diverse class of people. Our staff here at Presley's pledges to offer only one class of service, and that is superior. So rendering professional services to the families that call upon us is not an option, it's mandatory. Presley Cares Mortuary Services, where we are caring for you and your loved one.
Hello, my name is Dr. Damon Daniels with Pathways to Wellness, a division of Wellspring Family Medicine. We're excited to be partnering with the Healthy Laughter comedy series. Our vision at Wellspring Family Medicine is to bring you the most up-to-date, cutting-edge medical tests to help you optimize your health. For instance, we have a pain-free, simple tool that takes 20 minutes to help you understand your heart disease risk. In addition, we'll be offering online courses to help you manage your diabetes, high blood pressure, or high cholesterol better. So connect with us on Facebook at Wellspring Family Medicine to take advantage of all the offerings we'll have to help you live a healthier, happier life.
One of the best stories that I have in satisfying one of our clients happened just recently. We had a young lady that was did a family reunion for, and then they came back and placed a reorder. Now, when they placed the reorder, we could not get everything done in time. Well, we had to pull a lot of strings, make some things happen, work a little bit late, but it worked out where we were able to get the t-shirts printed and out for delivery. That's the things that we do for our clients, and we want to do that for you as well.
It's easy to become frustrated when ordering branded products and apparel, but P&B Promotionals is here to help ease those frustrations with their over 800,000 promotional products and apparel. Whether screen printed t-shirts, embroidered polo shirts, stadium cups, umbrellas, or mugs, P&B Promotionals has just what you need. Log on to pbpromotionals.com and start your order now. That's pbpromotionals.com, or send an email to info@pbpromotionals.net. info@pbpromotionals.net.
Imprinting the best for less. P&B Promotionals.
At my church, we help people get better by teaching them how the word works. And we want to make sure there is no excuse not to get the word. It's our goal to make all of our ministries accessible on every smartphone, tablet, PC, and television connected to the internet. So whether you're a man who needs some wisdom, a woman who needs some encouragement, or a couple who needs guidance, the My Church channel has just what you need. Simply search for the My Church channel on Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV, or visit mychurchchannel.org. You can also download the My Church on the Go app from Apple or Google Play App Store. Constantly on the move? Check out the Word at My Church podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Or simply download the Word at My Church skill on your Alexa-enabled device. But whatever you do, make sure to stay connected. See you soon.
Greetings. I am Darrell Presley, owner and operator of Presley Cares Mortuary Services of West Columbia, South Carolina. Our mission here at Presley's is to provide excellent, quality, superior funeral service to all, regardless of economic status, religion, or race, with our society being embedded with a diverse class of people. Our staff here at Presley's pledges to offer only one class of service, and that is superior. So rendering professional services to the families that call upon us is not an option, it's mandatory. Presley Cares Mortuary Services, where we are caring for you and your loved one.
All right, family. I see y'all coming back in, Clubhouse. Thank y'all. I see you here. I see y'all coming back. What's going on, family? Hopefully we got the technical issues worked out. I think Pastor Tuck's mic is working. From what I can see, it seems as though it is working. I see Donna in the room. Got a little bit of feedback, but yeah. Hallelujah. All right, family. I think we back in. I think we come back in. Share the room, family. Share the room. Let them know we are back on Clubhouse. Pastor, can you hear? Can we hear you? Can we hear you?
I think so.
There we go. Yeah. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that was. But it is what it is. It was what it was. We're going to keep on moving, keep on pressing forward. Share the room, Clubhouse. We are back on Facebook, YouTube, my church channel, of course. We are back in the room. Got some more commercials in, so we got some extra spots. So whoever brought advertising, you got some extra ones today. All right, there it is, y'all. Listen. Get ready. The holiday season is coming up. It is November. It is Thanksgiving season. And you're getting ready to go back to the house, go home, maybe to family, to friends, or people are coming to you. There's some things you may want to consider as you go home for the holidays. We'll be talking about that in just a little bit. But before we move on to that, I do want to hit that topic of never quitting. Never being too old as well. And that's another part of this whole piece about never quitting. Sometimes you get to looking at age, you get to looking at life, and you get to judging yourself based on either other people's story, other people's success. You get to judging that based on what you think, how you feel, which oftentimes has absolutely nothing to do with it. I mean, I was telling somebody the other day about how the word of God is true, and the word of faith and the principles of faith is true, doesn't matter how you feel about it. Feelings have nothing to do with it. If that was the case, God would immediately swing in every time you felt bad about something and fix it and work it out. But that's not how that works, because our feelings don't make the word of God wrong. It doesn't make the word of God a lie. It makes the word of God even more true, I believe, because no matter what your feelings are, if you operate and press through in faith, you're going to see the manifestation of your harvest. Sometimes you got to make some adjustments. Sometimes you got to work on things. Sometimes you got to fast. Sometimes you got to pray. Sometimes you got to dig in. Sometimes you got to redirect. You got to start over. There's several things that sometimes you have to do. However, that said, you must not quit, and the principles of faith are true. They are real. And but this topic, Pastor Tuck, Donna, this topic of again, we're talking about the inventor of the Keurig cup coffee pods, and he sold the company for $50,000. And then within a year later, the product finally comes out. Within a few years, it sells for $100 million the first time. Second time it sells, it literally sells in the billions of dollars. And I know that's got to be a hard challenge for someone to accept. But unfortunately, it is what it is. Your thoughts on when you hear that story, and because it's pretty stark. Go ahead, Pastor. I'll start with you, sir. Are you serious? Can we not hear Pastor Tuck?
I mean, no.
There we go.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was myself while you were talking.
I'm like, are we?
That was me that time.
It's technology.
No, that was me that time. But I said, after you have put your life's work into something, and then to sit there and to have it just, just to quit. I liken it to. I've seen these documentaries about SEAL team training, and how when you're going through SEAL team training, they never tell you when it's over. And so you're going through all of the stuff, and there's one portion where, and you probably seen it on some of the shows where they're actually laying on the beach and they got like a log in their arms, and they're laying and the waves are like crashing over top of their head and all that kind of stuff, and they're just laying there, and they just have to stay there, and they're like there for like 20-some, 30-some hours. Ooh. And so at any time you can give your DOR, you can drop on request, so you can quit anytime you want. Wow. But if you want to quit, you gotta say you gotta get up and DOR, and he'll ask you, you sure? And I think I was watching one, and I don't know if it was a movie or recreation kind of thing. Yeah. And one of the guys like, DOR. He was like, you sure? DOR? Yeah. And as soon as he says DOR, he starts walking. He takes about 2 steps. The guy blows the whistle. Oh. So it's like if you could have held out. I mean, and you never get that opportunity again. And you'd have been through all of that.
Yeah. You never get to do that again?
Jesus.
No.
Can't re-up to be a SEAL?
To even get selected to get into BUD/S is, such a hard thing in the first place. Only so many people even get selected for that spot. Wow. So for you to get selected and not finish, no, you'll never see that again. Yeah. Wow. But I liken it to one of those type of situations, because it's like, dude, do you not realize how close you were? Yeah. How close you were. And so, it's got to be the most bitter feeling ever. Yeah. To actually go through that.
Yeah. Wow. And I think that's a little bit of what the owner of the inventor, the founder of the Keurig Coffee Company, and the inventor of the actual system created how the actual product actually works, and that whole system of bringing the water in, warming the water up, puncturing the top, filling it up, it filtering down through that bottom piece. I don't even know what that's called, whatever that system is called. He actually for 12 years owned the patent on it. And then the patent came up, and because once a patent cycles out, then it is now free to the marketplace. And other companies have now have been able to utilize and create their own brand of Keurig. But then guess what they did? Keurig went out and actually created licensing deals with all these big brands. So your Starbucks, so your Dunkin' Donuts, and all these different brands that you see. They created licensing deals only to do business with them. So there's other companies that have a Keurig type coffee dispenser maker, but they can't. They don't have the sensor, or they're not able to utilize that particular coffee pod. And my point is saying that is they worked the owners, the current owners, and I guess whatever the transitions, how many times it changed hands, they worked well to protect themselves. And I don't know what happened with the founder. I don't know his personal story. I don't know what he was going through. So I'm not judging him. That's why I'm not giving out his name. But of course, anybody who wants to search it, you can. But I said that because that's got to be hard. That's got to be a hard pill to swallow. That's something that was your concept, and you gave it up for that. I'm just be honest. That's a little bit of money. That's a little bit of money versus $100 million is what it sold for the first time, and then the second time it sold. Somebody look up. If y'all can search, what was the price of the Keurig coffee sale that last time? Of course, the company's going public, and they've had a lot of troubles. They have a lot of problems, a lot of ups and downs. However, that's what the process is. That's what happens. It ain't easy. It's a challenge. It is a challenge. And if you quit, guarantee for sure that it will not work. Again, I don't know. I'm sure he was under financial pressure. I don't know if he was under marital pressure or relationship pressure or physical health. I don't know what it could have been. But to put that much time to invent something that literally 13 billion cups of Keurig coffee have been drunk. 13 billion of those little pods.
Wow.
And so
that's I mean that's ridiculous.
yeah.
First of all, to even think about how many coffee addicts out there in the world.
That's a drug. It's a drug.
I mean, that's I mean,
but they say
he
wrap up
he was Nino Brown and didn't know it.
Yeah.
when you wrap when you put the cups that have been used over the years, if you put them end to end, you take them, they can go around the world 10 times.
Jeez.
I mean,
good. Lord.
Times.
Wow.
I mean, he was Avon and he let Marlo come in and take his corners.
Yeah.
I mean, that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
Wow. Yeah.
You just let him come take your corners.
That's rough. That's rough. But I mean,
How did you know? How would he know?
well, it's not. You don't know, and that's the thing. You have to. You got to hang in there.
He knew. He just didn't have the muscle.
Yeah.
He just didn't have the muscle. Like I say, he let Marlo come in and take his corners. He knew what he had.
Good Lord. That's rough. That's rough. That's rough.
He gave up.
He gave up.
He give up.
He gave up at at a terrible time.
Man.
At a terrible time. You know?
Oh, I mean that is just that's as my man would say on Everybody Hates Chris, tragic.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Tragic. I mean, that is just.
How many people do that? How many people? You know who I look at. And I know this is discrepant. This is something that people. It's controversial. Put it like that.
Yeah.
Is Walt Disney.
Yeah.
Walt Disney went bankrupt 7 times.
Yeah.
And he stuck in it. He stuck in there, and look what the empire, because he has an empire.
Yeah.
And he got to see a lot of it before he passed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, he's 7 times bankrupt. Who does that?
Well, it's to your point about that. Walt Disney has some serious setbacks. One, he lost the license to his original creation, which I forgot the name of it. It was a rabbit, I think it was.
Oh yeah.
And he lost the license. That Jaleel, what was the name of it?
It's Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Now Disney got him back, but that was years.
That's why I love. That's why I love that dude. That's why I love that dude.
Oswald was reintroduced in the game Epic Mickey and has since more or less popped up every now and then. But
Put Big Daddy on the screen when he talk.
that was the first Mickey. That was the first Mickey. That was the first Mickey.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not. Why aren't you on screen, Jaleel? Because you pretty much.
I mean, I can be on screen.
I'm telling you, this is my favorite new segment of the show, boy. Big Daddy Cam. Big Daddy Cam is the new favorite segment of the show.
And he has a bottom third too. You see that?
They gotta see Big Daddy behind the scenes.
Yes.
But that's good. That's good info because again, because I forgot. I knew it was a rabbit. I could not remember his name. But he said,
I'm glad you knew.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I didn't know for sure, but I remember the fact that Walt Disney moved to California and he moved in with his brother, and and literally Mickey Mouse was created in his brother's garage. Because Walt Disney he and his wife was like broke. Like he literally, so the only actual space that he actually had that he could create, that he created the animation for the first Mickey Mouse cartoons in his brother's garage, and he was voicing literally every character. So every sound effect. So when you see like you see the whistle and you see like the locomotive sounds and all of that, right? That was Walt Disney actually making those sound effects himself and voicing many of the characters. I think, how many of the 7 dwarfs that Walt Disney actually voiced, Jaleel? Do you know? I know he voiced some of them.
I actually don't know. I don't know that one, but that's cool trivia.
See, that's why it's not cool to ever meet your heroes.
Yeah.
I know he voiced Mickey for years, and then of course somebody else came.
Yeah.
I mean, but you got to think of all the challenges that he had. Finally, he started to gain traction with Mickey Mouse.
Right.
And finally, he got to the point where he got a deal with someone that was actually licensing and distributing Mickey Mouse. He made sure that, unlike Oswald, he could not lose the license for Mickey Mouse. It was impossible. Just like Sam Walton. Sam Walton started a store in I forgot some other city, not where he's now in Bennettsville, Arkansas. But he started a store and he built a store up. It was a Woolworth, actually. He built it up. It became successful. The man who he was leasing from then decided that after Sam had built his store to be successful, he wanted to give it over to his son-in-law. So he would not re-sign his lease. So from that point on, Sam Walton would only sign a 100-year lease. Anytime if he didn't own the property, it was always a 100-year lease. And that became it. But so he learned from that. It was like, oh yeah, that would never happen again. And then he wound up going back into that market and running that guy out of town, like literally killing his Woolworth business. But my point is saying all that is all of them had major roadblocks, major setbacks, major failures, major moments that it was literally time to quit. And guess what? A lot of them started older. Walt Disney wasn't as old as Sam Walton. Sam Walton was 47 years old, 47 or 49 when he actually started Walmart. That's not you're not a quote unquote young person. You are young in spirit, but you ain't 28. Okay, right. A lot of people tell you 49. You need to be thinking about your retirement. You need to be preparing for later. You need to get you a job and ride it out. You need to play it safe. This ain't the time to be starting nothing new. Sam Walton was like, hey, no, we're gonna start Walmart at 49 years old. And when he died, he was the richest man in America.
Isn't that something?
The richest man in America. Something? So my point is saying that is don't quit. Whoever you are out there, don't quit. Don't you dare turn back. Don't you dare shut down. And like that Navy SEAL analogy is a dope one, because you talking about rigorous training. It's hard, rigorous training. I'm talking about gut wrenching. Dig in, mind blowing. Really? Are you serious? Type training. That's what y'all doing. That's the level of craziness you got to deal with. But that's the level of craziness that you have to deal with when you go out into this world and determine that you're gonna represent this country right here. That's right. And be a Navy SEAL. So yeah, y'all, just don't quit. Whatever you up against, do not quit. Don't turn back. Don't fail. And I shouldn't say don't fail, because failure happens. Sometimes you can have a major failure. But just don't quit, y'all. Don't quit. Yeah, utilize that Keurig story as a mean one. I'm gonna find some more people. Some more people who are actually. There's some other folks who I actually found. I found a list of folks who actually started much later, believe it or not. So to all you old heads out there who feel like.
I'm raising
Kimberly
my
Morgan
hand.
said Disney wanted to open in Santee, South Carolina.
Interesting. How about that? Santee. Wow. Wow, let me see if I can find that list.
But yeah, you can't quit. Don't quit.
Yeah.
Don't quit.
Yeah.
Because you never know. You don't know the years that you have left anyway. So you might as well do something productive in those years. Yeah. And be happy.
Yeah.
Do something you always wanted to do.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when they're coming up, when they're, when they were in college or high school, and, especially if you have parents that have a dream for you and they want you to be, the dentist, the doctor, the accountant, but that wasn't you. That was, you wanted to be an artist. Yeah. And you worked what your parents asked you to work, or, kind of demanded that you work. You went in the family business, so to speak. But then, you get to an age where, hey, let me explore who I am. Yeah. Let me explore the thing that I loved. Yeah. That was my passion in life. And man, that could turn your life around. Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of times, to your point, Donna, a lot of times we're doing things the way other people want us to do it. Right. And the truth of the matter is, you don't know what
God is preparing you for. You don't know what challenge he's preparing you for by allowing you to go through this or go through that. You're processing through something because you're going to need that grit later on. Let me tell you something. I have to be honest with you.
Skills. You might need those skills too later on.
Right, you need those skills, and you need. There's some challenges that I've been up against lately. That the only reason that I didn't buckle or shut down, even mentally, is because I'm good. I done dealt with that before. I'm good.
Saw it.
Move
you
on.
Saw it before.
I saw it before. I felt it before. I dealt with it before. So it's like we ain't doing that. Yeah, okay, all right. Or sometimes it ain't something. Sometimes it's not to spiritualize some. Sometimes it's stuff. It's mistakes. Sometimes it's stuff that didn't happen the way you wanted to. It was a legitimate failure. But it's like but I ain't about to quit over that.
No.
We good. Keep pushing. Go ahead, bro. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't know, it's like, oh my God, oh woe is me. Oh, it's wheels up. Or why did this happen? It's sometimes why it's happened because you messed up. Sometimes the reason why it happened because you didn't check a box, or you didn't make a shift, or you weren't obedient. Or sometimes it just happens just because stuff happens and life happens and other people do stuff, and so it's all kind of factors in there. But before you pull up and go wheels up and quit, man. The devil is a liar. Yeah.
Lifing.
Life.
That's the new term.
Life be life.
Life be lifing. That's
Life be
right.
life.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
That is what was such a great sentiment. And
life be lifing, but believers be believing.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, there it is, Pastor Tuck. There it is. There it is. You said life be lifing and believers be believing. There it is. Never quitting.
Never quit.
Yeah, y'all.
Don't stop believing.
What it's a couple of secular songs that are really, when you look, man, that's a song there about faith.
When you go back and look at it, you're like, oh,
yeah,
that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, that was a moment of faith right there. Yeah, y'all listen. The holidays are coming up.
Yes.
And we're getting to this point this season now, and people always say, well, I'm triggered and I'm this and I'm that, And let me just say this, right? I don't want to any way to I don't want to any way minimize people's feelings or thoughts, I only mention the word I'm triggered because it's kind of one of those buzzwords right now. Just like what is it? Toxic masculinity or patriarchal leadership and all that stuff. It becomes a thing, and people start utilizing it, and you apply it to a lot of things.
Everything's a thing.
Yeah, it really is.
Get your life. Yeah, get your life.
You ever talk to somebody and they say something, and I say, is that a thing? And they're like, that's a thing. I say, really? People actually do that?
Get your life. Get your life.
But triggered, is like, and people sometimes utilize that, to me, I believe, as it's a pure cop out. Well, I was triggered. Well, hey, okay, I'm triggered by a lot of stuff, but you can't respond a certain way. When we come back, y'all, I want to talk about going home for the holidays. Just, sometimes you going home and acting like you surprised when this happened. It's like, hey man, why you surprised? Now that doesn't mean you shouldn't go home. Sometimes it might mean that, but sometimes it doesn't mean that you should go home. Sometimes you should be prepared. All right, we get into that. Home for the holidays, family. This is the Akintunde Show.
One of the best stories that I have in satisfying one of our clients happened just recently. We had a young lady that did a family reunion for, and then they came back and placed a reorder. Now, when they placed the reorder, we could not get everything done in time. Well, we had to pull a lot of strings, make some things happen, work a little bit late, but it worked out where we were able to get the t-shirts printed and out for delivery. That's the things that we do for our clients, and we want to do that for you as well.
It's easy to become frustrated when ordering branded products and apparel, but P&B Promotionals is here to help ease those frustrations with their over 800,000 promotional products and apparel. Whether screen printed t-shirts, embroidered polo shirts, stadium cups, umbrellas, or mugs, P&B Promotionals has just what you need. Log on to pbpromotionals.com and start your order now. That's info@pbpromotionals.com or send an email to info@pbpromotionals.net. info@pbpromotionals.net.
Imprinting the best for less.
P&B Promotionals.
Greetings. I am Darrell Presley, owner and operator of Presley Cares Mortuary Services of West Columbia, South Carolina. Our mission here at Presley's is to provide excellent, quality, superior funeral service to all, regardless of economic status, religion, or race, with our society being embedded with a diverse class of people. Our staff here at Presley's pledges to offer only one class of service, and that is superior. So rendering professional services to the families that call upon us is not an option, it's mandatory. Presley Cares Mortuary Services, where we are caring for you and your loved one.
What I said?
That's right, y'all.
The Akintunde Show.
Smell it.
A-K-I-N Tunde.
Oh, yeah.
All right, y'all, listen. Coming up first Sundays, December 3rd, Shanita Morris will be in the house. Shanita Morris, a.k.a. Chocolate, my sister. I think I'm gonna do a podcast with Shanita while we there. I'm gonna do a podcast with Shanita while we there to discuss the something that happened on social media last week, actually last Tuesday night, and so we discussed that coming up. All right, can y'all hear me in Clubhouse? Talking about your volume, Pastor Tuck. Okay, hold on one second. All right. Stand by, Pastor Tuck. I'll let Jaleel take care of that. Am y'all saying I'm muted in Clubhouse? Am I muted in Clubhouse now?
No, you good.
Okay, here we go. All right. So, but yeah, that's coming up. Shanita, something happened on social media last week, and I want to get Shanita's thoughts on it, get her response to it. I'm gonna record a podcast while she's here for First Sundays. So yeah, hey, pretty substantive. No, I should say extensive conversation that went into some topics amongst Christian and gospel comedians, and it was pretty let's just say interesting. I'm gonna unpack that on when she's in town. Again, y'all excuse some of the technical difficulties we had today, y'all. Please forgive us. I am personally working and taking responsibility for anything that puts us in a position where we're not operating at the highest level of excellence available to us. There's some levels of excellence we don't have access to just yet, but whatever we have to us, got to be utilizing that to the highest level of excellence, and that's something that I'm seeking after and pursuing. So anything that represents a lack of excellence, I ask for y'all forgiveness, and as we work it out, I don't care if it is a technical glitch, it still impedes or it still affects the value of the product that we're putting out to the marketplace and that we are offering to edify and minister to the people, the folks who enjoy and benefit and support and add value to us on the Akintunde Show. So thank you for working with us as we work through every little thing that we're learning. It's the whole build-out process. Again, that's coming up First Sundays. Y'all can get your tickets for First Sundays by logging on to firstsundayscomedy.com. It's our special holiday edition. Shanita Morris and more. We got a special musical performance, and I'll tell you about that a little bit later on. But let me get to the topic today, which is going home for the holidays. All right, some things that you can make sure that you avoid, don't allow yourself to get into as you go home for the holidays. And again, I was utilizing this analogy up top, and I'll mention it again. Again, I think the term triggered has been overutilized today. And oftentimes, to me, it really becomes a crutch for you to flesh out, to act out, to you to respond the way you want to respond. You was going to do that anyway. So you can't just say, somebody cussed you out or you cuss somebody out and they triggered you. Nah. Sometimes it's like, hey, ma'am or sir, you knew what you was doing. And you knew how your aunt was going to act out anyway. But so let's Donnie got some tips here. How, like some ways on how you can avoid mess.
Ooh.
Over the holidays. Last year we talked about food. We talked about food, and we talked about Donna's green bean casserole. We're not talking about that. Talk about that this year.
We'll say that for Christmas time, I guess. Yeah.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that this year.
We're not ever talking about that again, Donna. We're not ever talking about that again. We're not ever talking about that.
You ain't had it yet, Pastor. You might have it and blow your mind now.
Yeah.
And we're not ever having that.
See,
We're not ever having that.
know.
Donna's green bean casserole goes on the list with chitlins.
Oh man!
Oh, it's a whole lot of folks going home this weekend looking forward to chitlins.
They sure are. They got them. I saw a picture on
called
YouTube. I saw a picture on TikTok or something that they had the chitlins, like they have the sensor on there, the little black, the big black one that's wrapped up around it. They had them on the chitlin packages.
The sensor? What do you mean?
The sensor, the stealing. So,
wow!
They had them on the sensor.
Wow!
I was like, this got to be a trip, here.
They steal that much chitlins?
This is a trip, here.
No.
They had them packaged up.
You got to understand.
Gosh.
See, there's a sensor on my front door. Like they got the metal detectors at the airport. There's a sensor on my front door. If you got chitlins on you, you're not allowed in.
Pastor, you never ate chitlins? You never tasted chitlins?
No.
I've never tasted them. Never.
There's a whole lot of things I ain't never done and don't need to. You understand that?
I don't remember ever having any chitlins.
Oh, okay. So you've never had them either?
No.
So all three of us never had them.
I don't think so.
And never will.
I've tasted some other pork products that I shouldn't have eaten. 'Cause, we was raised up not eating pork.
Right.
So sometimes there was times where I snuck a little taste of something or had a little something. Like, oh, okay, that was pretty good. Or
you had a slice of bacon, didn't you?
Oh, I didn't eat a whole bunch of bacon in my life. Nice.
Thank you, Kimberly Morgan. Can we just stop eating slavery food? We're free now. We is free now. Thank you. My sentiments exactly.
Can we stop eating slavery food?
We is free now. I'm gonna make that a T-shirt, Kimberly. I'm gonna make that a T-shirt.
That's a dope T-shirt.
And then put a list on the back. Yeah.
Oh, you gonna make some people mad.
Yeah.
That's real talk there.
Yeah.
Some people
Can we stop eating slavery food?
Yeah, we is free now.
Wow.
See. Yeah. Talk about it.
Well, let's make that a whole show. Let's make that a whole show.
I'm writing that down.
And then
slavery food.
But see, here's the whole thing. Guess what? Watch this right here.
Slavery food and poverty food.
Guess what? But here's the thing though. If you going home and you knowing your family gonna be eating chitlins and other slavery food
I'm
items,
not going.
No.
If chitlins is on the list, I'm not going.
No, you cannot. I don't think it's fair for you to go to somebody's house because you don't want to eat that because that's their food. That's their food.
1 second. Maybe you've not heard this story. My first pastorate. I'm pastoring the church. Right. I just started pastoring this church. The chairman of deacons invites us over to the house for dinner.
Okay.
This is around the holidays.
Okay.
So we go to the house. We get there. I'm sitting at the dining room table with the deacon. My wife is sitting in the parlor area, because they in their 70s.
Okay.
The wife is in the kitchen. So we sitting there having a conversation. She in there doing stuff. She cracks a pot. I say, excuse me. I get up and I go to the car. I never return. About 15 minutes later, my wife comes out to check on me. She comes out. She said, "You all right? What's going on?" I said, "You need to go get your purse."
Cause we go.
And she said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "We leaving." She said, what are you talking about? I said, "They got chitlins in there. It's time to go." She said, "You better come back in here. These folks are invited us to that." I said, "I don't care. It's time to go now.
So what?
She said, you better come back in here. I said, they don't want me back in there. Because if I go back in there, they will be cleaning up.
Oh, my God.
I said, you can tell them whatever you need to tell them to make you feel better. But I'm cranking up this car. You'll be catching a ride in a few minutes.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is not on the schedule, but I got to unpack this. So so here's a couple questions. Yes. Number one, clear you have a gag reflex to chitlins.
Mm-hmm.
I have gone in restaurants, walked in the restaurant, sat down at the table. Before I looked at the menu, I got up and started walking. Somebody like, where you going? I said, they serve chitlins here. They're like, how you know?
You can smell it.
I said, I know. I can smell them a mile away.
Okay, got it. All right.
And the smell of them will make me vomit.
Wow. Got it.
Wow.
That's how serious it is with being a chitlin.
Got it. Got it. Okay, that's fair. So what was your response to the deacons when you saw them again? Because clearly y'all had to have a conversation. Rep Tucker?
My wife went back in there and told him I wasn't feeling well. You know, because my wife grew up in Emily Post household. I could have cared less.
How you gonna walk out and not say nothing to the people? At least, hey y'all, I'm sorry, y'all.
If I would have stayed in there 10 more seconds, I would have to explain why they got to mop up. And I did the most polite thing in the world by leaving.
That's to be clear. I agree with you. That's fair. It's certain things if you can't deal with, you can't deal with it. I fully. My mom probably would have did the same thing. My question to you is though, do you think it at least requires a response or an explanation to the folks who clearly didn't know no better?
Oh, if they would have asked, I would have clearly explained.
Jesus.
But I'm just trying to tell you now. And so, of course, they found out. I made that plain to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so, after that, everybody like, they because my wife grew up. She didn't had them before. She didn't ate them before. But once she married me, that's off the list. They do not enter the Tucker household.
Wow.
And so while we were pastoring that church, you had a couple people like, well, I'm gonna give you some, Pastor Stephanie, for you. I looked at her, and so somebody gave her some. We pulled out from the church. I was like, roll down the window,
throw them out. Throw them out.
Pastor Tuck is littering.
Throw them out. They was on the road.
Exactly.
Like the cookie crumbs.
They belong to some wild animal like they should be eaten.
So y'all drop in the comments. Do y'all think Pastor Chuck was wrong for not for leaving the house without explanation? And clearly they never explained to the people what, was he wrong for that? Or clearly, hey, if you can't take them, you can't take them. I fully understand.
I'm trying to tell you can get an explanation and a mop. Or I could just walk out. Right. So I mean, that's up to you. I felt like I was doing a humane thing.
Gene Singer Stewart said, "I understand, Pastor Tuck," with an exclamation mark. Van Zell here, what's up, Van Zell? He said, "Why eat something that eats dead flesh? Are we not what we eat? If we eat dead, are we not also dead? Kind of like The Walking Dead come out of the TV." Kimberly Morgan said, "Absolutely not." Wow. Sister Jean said, "I don't eat meat, so many Thanksgivings is usually pretty interesting. Occasionally, I've attended functions with salmon and on the menu." Okay, all right, yeah. Okay. So, and is that, Sister Jean? Is that somebody who accommodated you because they knew you were coming? Because we have people that do that for me or in our family who like I would. And here's my whole thing: if you're gonna accommodate somebody's dietary restrictions, for whatever that reason, whether it's for health reasons, religious reasons, or just preferences, this is a good topic for going home for the holidays. If you want to accommodate somebody's dietary restrictions, don't make a big deal out of it. I hate folks who you go to their house, they know you don't eat this.
You can't have that fish. This oxfish right here. He don't eat.
Because he don't eat that. He not like he don't eat pork.
He don't eat fish. He don't eat meat like the rest of us.
Yes. So because some people you have to have special food for them. Like you know what, Joker, you can keep that plate. But I mean, but it's like because folks would do that when we because we grew up Muslim, so people out there. No, don't do that because I'm like, folks, look, we already know this. If you're going to accommodate, thanks. If not, hey, that's cool too. You know what I'm saying?
Rock on with your bad self.
We eat these veggies and these starches and keep it moving. But yeah, I think one of the biggest things is okay. Let's have a self-aware holiday season. Be self-aware.
Okay.
That's I don't know if that's on your list or not, Don.
That was one of the things.
Okay. Let's
self-aware.
Let's be self-aware. Be aware of how your responses affect other people. Be aware of how your attitude affects other people. Be aware of what you say or don't say, how that affects other people. And I'm gonna say this right. I know a lot of grown people that's very unaware of themselves. They are totally. They have no self-awareness. And they always like, I don't understand why he or she got offended because you a butt.
I'm gonna say this. Because this is a totally different perspective. Because I was saying this. I told you, I said I ain't going if they got children. And you was like, you can't not go. And you was talking about you got if such and such gonna be this way. You got to prepare for it. Look,
Right.
This is what I tell people out here. If you know that these situations are not emotionally healthy for you, do not allow the holidays to be an excuse for you to subject yourself to abuse.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, well said.
Because so many people have this thing. Well, I got to go home for the holidays. No, you don't.
You don't have to go home. You don't. You don't. But
it is. Not, watch this. This is the thing that I think so many people have done. We have allowed traditions and emotional ties, whether they be family or otherwise, bind us to situations that God has tried to deliver us from.
Wow.
let me say this.
Wow.
I fully agree with that. I fully agree with there are some circumstances and situations that you should not subject yourselves to. But I think there's certain times when you just have to recognize I don't think you should not see your mom and your dad because you don't like your brother's wife. I don't think you should not see your brother because your daddy don't know how to talk to people. I think you got to balance that out.
That's true, but you got 365 days a year. And your brother ain't always there.
True that, but you also have that may be the time for you to see your family, to see your. It may not be possible. It might not be possible.
And you got to hear God on that.
Right, but we don't say that in church. We don't. Nobody says, hey, don't come to church because there's some buttholes in here. Because it is. There's some certified buttholes in church.
Yep.
But nobody says don't go.
But the thing about church is you're coming to a place that's a public place. You go to a grocery store, that's a grocery store. You didn't come there for those people. You didn't come there to just say, I'm coming to be in this environment and I'm going to sit in this environment where I know that this is what's coming in and I know what's going to happen in here. Hold on.
You do have options. Yeah.
And let me give you this. God told Abraham to leave his household, his family, and where he grew up.
Yeah.
And so if Abraham was like, well, I got to go back because it's family reunion, would he have not been disobeying God?
Yeah. I mean, he said, come from among them.
So God delivered him from something.
Yeah.
Because God's trying to change his way of thought, because there's certain stuff that some people have in them that came from their environment. That environment they were in was toxic. And some people still have never gotten over some toxic tendencies because they stay attached to it because the world has told us that that's what you're supposed to do.
Wow.
You're supposed to go to the family barbecue. You're supposed to go home for the family Thanksgiving. You're supposed to. Some things are meant to be broken.
I fully agree. I fully agree. I think there's balance in that. I think there's
and the balance is always hearing God.
It's always hearing God, but I think sometimes the balance is I think today we have a lot of it's got to be my way, or it's got to be about me, or it's got to be my perspective, or it's got to be edifying to me, or it has to be not a challenge to me. And the reason why I say that is because, like I mentioned up top, it's like we're requiring people to act and behave a certain way that's in some cases is very much unrealistic. Look, watch this right here. Follow me on this for a minute. There are some Tucker family traditions that your son-in-laws are going to have to come into, right? Whatever that family tradition is, right? That may be different for them depending on how they were raised, right? So they were like, well, I ain't never had to go and talk to nobody daddy before, or my daddy wasn't around, or whatever that is, right? That may be a challenge for them, right? So what require of them is to say, okay, well, this is not just about me because that's my wife's family. Or that's another way of looking at it, another way of thinking about it, because that's different for me. It's like people have said the same thing about, y'all family do this, or y'all family do that, your family's like this. Oh, I'm not used to that. And that may be fair, but I think that's the part of life. And I'm not talking about something like a food option. Chitlins is people, but I'm saying sometimes I think we get. There's a lot of folks where I don't like this, I don't prefer this, or your dad said this, your dad responded that way, and I'm like, some of that's kind of self-centered and selfishness, as opposed to really saying, yes, this is different, but I can handle this, because people do it on their jobs all the time. People do it in ministry sometimes.
And let me show you. There's a couple of things from what you're just talking about, and I totally agree with all that. Yeah. Because those are things that you're talking about are from a preference standpoint, or more from a different standpoint. Right. What I'm talking about are from literally toxic standpoints. Let's say we grew up in a household where I'm literally one of those toxic guys. I'm one of those guys that are always degrading my kids. I'm always telling them, I'm talking about, their appearance. I'm always, lowering their self-esteem. And then they finally find them a nice, positive man, who's building them up. Yeah. And then they're like, we got to go home for Thanksgiving. No, you don't. Right. You don't have to go subject yourself to this, because God brought you out of this. God's trying to heal you from that. But you take a holiday, something that we're saying is supposed to be holy, something we're supposed to be thanking God for, and then we go back in this, and then you're reverting back to trauma. Right. For the sake of saying, this family's supposed to be together. This is not family. And so many people don't understand that, because this has been their paradigm. They don't understand that God has a plan and was always had a plan. And just because somebody didn't follow that plan doesn't mean that you have to stay in that. God has a way of regenerating things. Yeah. God has a way of restoring things. And somebody might say, well, what are you just supposed to walk away from your family? You do what God tells you, because sometimes he has to take you out of a situation to grow you enough before you're able and stable enough to go back into a situation. Right. It's just like somebody who's an alcoholic or a drug addict. You can't just go and start ministering to folks at a bar. You'll be sitting at the bar drunk with them. Yeah, right. So you got to get to that point where you're even strong enough, because you think, well, yeah, I got to stay here because these are my people. That's why you see a whole lot of people who may be athletes or entertainers or whatever. They'll come out the hood, but they never leave that hood mentality, because they were never strong enough to get themselves strong enough to now try to raise up their community.
Right. And I fully agree with that. I think what I'm talking about sometimes is sometimes we're judging things only from our paradigm. Right. So there are people who will say, like, you may have a parent who's more of a disciplinarian. Let's say, and let's say you have very liberal standards in your own household. So guess what happens? Now your grandkids have a collision with the environment of home. So you're a dad who's old school, like kind of authoritarian, or more military style, or more you do what I say type of environment. You got some teenage kids, or you got some toddlers, or some children, some 7, 8, 9-year-olds, right? And they come in the house, they used to jumping on the furniture. Or they used to running all over the place. They used to guess what you just did? What? Your daddy just told Javon to sit his behind down. That is toxic. I'm leaving. I'm leaving Jatarius. Me and my children are going to the hotel. You can stay here with your toxic daddy, but he did not have to talk to Jatarius like that. Your daddy just told Jatarius to sit his behind down. We don't talk to my children, our children like that in our family. And I think that was disrespectful. And I think your dad is toxic and you're toxic. And it's like, nah, sis, your kids is off the chain. Nobody just ain't told you behind that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
now,
don't worry about it. In a couple of years, you'll be like, can you call your daddy to talk to JT?
That's right. That's right.
Can you get him to talk to JT? Because the Jatari Jr. is off the chain. He ain't here cussing me out.
right? But here's the whole point. But that's guess what? On one side, so because guess what? When I watch people with disrespectful kids, I be looking at them like, what the what, ma'am, sir, really? And I don't.
Uber Beats.
Oh yeah. But again, depending on your paradigm, depending on how you were raised, depending on your culture, depending on your lifestyle, depending on your parenting style, guess what? Oh, I'm toxic because I just told your child don't stand on my table. I'm wrong because I just told your kid to start running in the doggone house. I'm wrong because your child was running toward about to knock his head on that little corner, that little edge right there that I know gonna hurt him real good. We're gonna be in the emergency room. So I snatched and grabbed him. Ho. But the only thing you saw is I grabbed your child. So guess what? That's preferences. But guess what? On some kid, for somebody, oh, that's a problem. Somebody, wife or husband, gonna hear about that all the way back down the road, all through the airport. And on some level, it's like, ma'am, sir, really. That's what I'm saying about pushing through. That's what I'm saying, judging yourself and considering maybe it's not about. It is a preference. It is a style difference. It is a cultural difference.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. But and like I said, but my only point was, like I said, I just want to make sure people understand, because I've seen so many people continue life cycles. Why? Oh, you said, but my only point was, like I said, I just want to make sure people. This is family. This is tradition, and it's like, and that's why you'll never be free.
Yeah.
You know, you even see young couples get together now, and they're having trouble bonding as a couple because, you know, he or she, well, we got to go back to mama's house for Christmas. You have a house now, and you got your own kids now. Sometimes it's about establishing your own household, and these things are important. And so many times we don't even understand those things because these are biblical paradigms that are not being taught. The Bible says a man will leave his mother and father and cleave to his spouse, and the two will become one flesh. You can't establish your household because you're still trying to live in mom and daddy's household.
So here's the question. Should you not go home for the holidays if there's one or two people in your family that you have a problem with, and you can't necessarily predict or control their behavior, but you've decided that you're going to not attend or not go to the family reunion, you're not going on the family vacation, you're not going home for the holiday? Is it appropriate or is it right for you to say, bump it, I ain't going, bump it, I ain't rolling with that, I ain't doing that? Or should you figure out how to work through that? That's a question for y'all in the comments, Facebook, on YouTube, as well as on Clubhouse. Jaleel, what's your thoughts?
I was just going to say a couple of things I thought are important with that. One, I think it depends on the severity of the conflict with that family member. It depends on the severity of the conflict, the severity of the issues you have with them, and the severity of that person's actions, and the severity of your response to them. And everybody, you know, has a limit. Nobody starts out immediately responding a certain way. Everybody tries to temper themselves, but there's a buildup. And sometimes the more, depending on the situation, depending on the person, depending on the person you're dealing with and the person you are, you can build up to a certain level and pop off or respond a certain way, and both of y'all be looking bad, or you will be looking worse. And it's like maybe you shouldn't have been there in the first place. Yes, you could have stepped away and handled yourself, giving yourself a minute. But oftentimes what makes sense after the fact or before stops making sense in the middle of it, and we wind up falling into the traps that we were trying to avoid in the first place. And my third thing, if I even had a third one, is that sometimes we set ourselves up for falling into these traps by worrying ahead of time about what could happen. So we're basically like, I'm creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah. As a man thinking, so is he, right? So we're over here thinking these things are going to happen. We are basically manifesting it in our heads and in our hearts. And then we basically are building ourselves up in preparation for this person to respond a certain way, so that when they finally do, we pop off as if they were going to do it the entire time. So it's just All those things are things that need to be taken into consideration, I feel.
And that taints anything that person does. When you have like when you have a wall up, or when a person has done something before that and you expect them to do it again. So you walk in the door like, oh, here come Mr. Such and such. Here come this right here. Oh, here it go. And it's like, nah, that ain't even it. That ain't even it. You got a wall up. That's not even that should not even be there. You know what I'm saying? So, and let me get some of the comments in.
That was your wisdom moment from Bishop Big Daddy.
Oh my God.
Bishop Big Daddy. That's funny. Bishop Big Daddy. Kashana said, that's how we do. I have 4 siblings and we don't all agree on certain things and we don't all do things together, but we still love and respect each other. I agree with that, Kashana. Kimberly Morgan said, I'm not letting anyone keep me from family gatherings. All right, I hear you. Sister Jean said, I don't go to gatherings where my ex is present. I have too many alternatives. Jaleel expressed my sentiment exactly. Kimberly added, my brother that is alive, we don't get along, but I'ma still go to an event no matter if he's there or not. Just stay in your lane. So that's right. So John, that's a good one. Let's go back to the list. I'm gonna go over to Facebook a little bit later and read some of those comments. We're gonna go a little bit long today, show y'all.
Let me say something to address that point you just made. As far as do you stay away?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's one of those things where, like Jaleel said, it depends on the severity of the behavior, or depending on the main thing for me, it depends on whether or not my kids are involved.
Mm-hmm.
Because when it was just me, it's like, okay, I can gauge my response based on their behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And I know at what point that my behavior is going to change.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know how to exit a situation at a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
And I know how close I can be to a person, and I know how I knew where that gasoline in that match could get to.
Yeah.
And I knew when I needed to remove myself. And even when my wife came in, it came to a point where it was like, okay, I had to be a little bit more sensitive with that, because now there's another factor in here.
Yeah.
But when it came to my kids, anything that I felt was going to be an unstable environment for my children was already off the list. And some people may say, well, how can you say that about your family? Well, think about it from this perspective. Would you take your kids to a nightclub?
Absolutely not.
The reason why is because you knew that that's an environment not conducive to the growth of your children, and you know it's an unstable environment.
So question.
So just because my family ran a nightclub, I wouldn't do that.
Quick question before we go back to the list. Here's the question: what's not asking for actual, but it just as a reference, the severity level. Is it if you walking in, your uncle is on R. Kelly level, and it's like, like I had a joke one time. I always say, when you go home and R. Kelly's your uncle, then it's like, hey, don't nobody sit on Uncle Robert lap. Don't nobody go nowhere with Uncle Robert, because that's a whole other level of severity.
Yes.
But or it is, you got another level of severity is you got a cousin who played too much, or you got a cousin who is really particular. You know what I'm saying? I'm asking, what's the gauge? And oh heaven no, I'm about to choke your uncle. To that's just a preface thing. What's the level of severity of?
See, for me with my kids, I didn't play anything that was going to be detrimental to my kids. Because people look at my kids now and they marvel at my kids, but it's because I made sure that I was a gate around my kids' environment, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Because God showed it to me this way. I always wanted to understand how I got to be how I was. Because, we always talk about people. I always heard people say, well, they'll come back, they'll do this, they'll do that. The Bible says you train up a child in the way that they go, when they're old, they will not depart from it.
Correct.
God told me that's the word. And I asked him, I said, well, what happened to me? Because I went to church growing up. I was baptized at 9 years old, went to church till I was 16. And I hit the street and I didn't look back for 10 years. That sounds like departure to me. So I said, God, what happened? God said you did exactly what you were trained to do. And I said, what do you mean? God said, from the time you were old enough, your daddy tell you, go get him a beer out the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
So when you were old enough, what were you going to do? You go get your own because that's what you were trained to do.
Mm-hmm.
You saw family members out here running the street.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as you were old enough, that's what you were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
These were the things you were exposed to in your formative years. So you were trained that these things were normal. Old enough, that's what you were going to do. When you were old enough, these were to become your normal.
Right.
So I had to be mindful of what I exposed them to. So I didn't put them in environments where they saw behavior that I did not want them considered to be normal.
Right.
So I couldn't take them to environments where alcohol was the normal beverage.
Right.
Where smoke coming out of your face was a normal activity. Where cursing out of your mouth was normal language.
Right.
I couldn't put them in those environments. And family gatherings were normal. That was the normal activity.
Mm-hmm.
So what that meant was we don't go to family gatherings.
Right.
So if I want to see family, I have to go see family.
So I mean, you have to be the strategic and okay. And I asked it because of like it's a question of it is like Jaleel mentioned earlier. What is the severity? I'm coming to you, Donna. Okay. It said Mary Motley said, she said, let's be self-aware. She said, don't subject yourself to abuse. Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Sister Carol Chisholm said, you do not stop going to your job because you have one person who is toxic. You learn to ignore them and work with others. Mm-hmm. One toxic family member won't stop me from living on the rest of my family. I guess she thinks she probably said loving. Mrs. Mary Motley, I agree with that. Sister Mary Motley said, "Don't assume the worst will happen." Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, everybody got judged for themselves. What's the best for their family, for their marriage, for their children, whatever it is. Can you handle it? Is it worth it? And you got to factor it out. Go ahead to the list, Donna. I know we run out of time. We're gonna go a little bit longer today because we started late and we had some technical difficulties, y'all.
Okay. Well, on the list here today, how to deal with toxic
with
people.
Donna J.
Yeah, there it is. Da, 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 da. Okay. So we've already been talking about some of the things that you would or would not do when it comes to dealing with toxic people during the holidays, except that you cannot change them.
Yeah.
Except that you cannot change them.
Yeah.
Limit your exposure to them. So we talked about that. Limit your exposure. You don't have to be around them. You are around them. Hi, how you doing? And then maybe you go to to another room and socialize with everybody else. Have a contingency plan in place if it starts to become toxic.
Okay.
Are we going to leave? Am I going to leave? Am I going to, whatever you're going to do, whatever your contingency plan is at that time, when it starts getting a little too much for you, have your contingency plan in place.
Got it.
Have a safe word.
Firm.
A safe word. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Your
I'm
husband and wife, have the safe word.
Everybody get
pumpkin.
in the car.
Okay. Pumpkin. We've got to leave. Pumpkin. Set firm boundaries for the time that you will spend together in that environment.
Got it.
Set your boundaries. Because that like after about
20 minutes, we out.
Right, because Uncle Willie or whatever, Aunt Susie, whatever, she's just gonna go over. So let's get out before it gets to that point. Okay.
Yeah.
Protect your children at all costs.
At all costs.
Protect your children and your family at all costs.
Yeah.
Keep it casual and professional. Don't get into those topics that will create dissension, and usually those are politics, religion, and finance.
How's the weather? What you mean, how's the weather? It's been hot.
Anything. So try to stay away from those topics that that will cause dissension or controversy, or the word we were using was trigger somebody else. Because a lot of times in our family, we already know we already know what buttons to push for Uncle Joe if you want to get him riled up. But sometimes it don't take nothing for Uncle Joe to get riled up. So that's
nice
when
weather
you
we're
got
having. What you mean nice? The government making this weather.
And truly examine your feelings about all of this.
Yeah.
Examine your feelings. Cultivate gratitude in your life so that you can, be grateful that that you're here with your family. That you're here with your family, because next year, 2, 3, 4 people might not even be there.
And I think that's big right there, because a lot of times we'll hold our extended family or people at church or people on a job or whatever so we'll hold somebody else to a standard that if somebody held you to that same standard, you couldn't live up to it, or you it would be hurtful or it wouldn't be beneficial for you. I think you got to really judge yourself, like why don't I like my wife's uncle? Why don't I like my cousin? Why don't me and my sister or my brother get along? Like really, like examine, like dig into it. Like is it something that I'm holding on from childhood? Am I jealous of them somehow? Did they say something that I'm still holding on to? What is it? Because when you really and if you're really honest with yourself, you might learn something about yourself that can be beneficial to not just you, but to the entire family.
Exactly.
And again, somebody mentioned it early on. We don't do that in some places. So we don't always subscribe or apply the same requirements in other spaces. There's always a realm of people that we give a pass, and then there's some other people like, no, like nah, Joker. No, now you go. Your child is in sports or play AAU, and you go places and be uncomfortable for hours and days and weeks, and you don't like the coach, and you don't like the team mom, you don't like none of them people, but you go all the time and you suck it up and yuck it up and laugh and even sit with them. You done rode in the car with hours of people that you don't like because it benefited you, but you can't go home with your uncle because your uncle might get drunk. I'm just saying, it's something that's out of bounds. I see your hand, Jaleel. Go ahead.
No, that's true. But the other thing is that the first name could be Jack.
Say again?
Their first name could be Jack. We ain't gonna say what their middle name is.
I couldn't hardly hear that.
I agree with that, but my thing of it is, man, let me tell you something. And sometimes I want to say it. And sometimes I do say little stuff. Like not too long ago, this sister in church came up to me and said something, and she said it trying to bother me, but like when she said it, and I almost responded to her, but I didn't. And my thing is but what I've learned is, it's like, now if you, because this what God tell me, because y'all understand something. As you talking to a person, let me be clear about this. You talk to a person who grew up talking about people to the point of people crying, and I'm talking about heartless. You talking to a joker who would talk about, I don't care if you have a physical ailment. I don't care if you got a deformity. I don't care if I know something about your mama or your daddy or whatever. I would say it. Okay.
Wow.
Then you take that into comedy. Black comedy of the 1990s. It was a requirement for you to be a sniper, for you to be on stage and somebody say something. It's like you turn around, you say the most rock gut, most evil thing you can say to blow that room up, to shut them up and make somebody else try you, right? And then you get saved. And then you come across on the Christian comedy side, then you come across to the daily living as a believer side, and people come to you and say little things, and the Holy Spirit say, don't say that, man. Don't say that. Do you know if you say that, do you know how that woman is going to feel if you say that? I'm like, God, but she's saying some bull job. You know, God, like,
don't know, boy. When he saved me, he saved you.
When he saved me, he saved you. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, people are people, man. There's legitimate jacks. There's some butts. There's some fools in your family, in your church, on your job, on your sports team, in your neighborhood. Ooh. I'm talking about legitimate idiots,
right?
Buttholes, jacks. I'm talking about wrong people at the core, and you still gotta deal with them. Your husband still got to deal with them. Your wife got to deal with them. Your kids got to deal with them. So you ain't gonna be able to get around all these jokers. Some of them you got to deal with. Julia, I'm sorry, Julia. Go ahead.
Nah, you're fine. Nah, you're fine. I was listening anyway.
Put yourself on camera while you're talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure my camera's good.
Big Daddy Cam, come on.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, it's a little. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Oh, you know what? It's a little shaky. I tell you what. I ain't gonna do that to y'all. But
Your point is.
yes, thank you. I wanted to mention there is a cycle that comes with trying to control people, and it always results in failure. Oftentimes when you're trying to control somebody's action, I'm not talking about the people who are trying to manipulate others for, malicious intent. I'm talking about people who are trying to shift how other people do, who are trying to change what other people do, so that you can avoid, getting hurt or having to be affected by it.
Yeah.
But the issue is that person is not going to change. You're going to try to do things to get them changed. They're not going to do it. You're going to get more and more and more upset, more fed up.
Right.
And I'm not saying this to be rude and mean, but there's a level of immaturity in that, in expecting that somebody will change just because you told them to. The truth in the matter is, and this should grant people peace, but it doesn't, because we have the wrong expectations growing up. The fact that you can't control somebody or is honestly a good thing. It's honestly a good thing, because that, the only thing you can work on and change is you. But oftentimes we don't want to work on ourselves. We want to work on the other person. And so I think it's important to remember that you can't shift how somebody's going to feel, because it's always going to result in you getting more upset. It will result in failure. We should just expect that. Now, if you're in a relationship with somebody, you're married or something like that, then it's sure you can talk things over, but you still can't change them. All you can do is address the issues and hope for the best. Also, I recommend praying. Like, there are plenty of practical steps that I take on a regular basis, and those are necessary. But there are some days where you just know you haven't been doing well. And for me, when I pray, I'm not too complicated with it. The way I think about it is, if I pray for God to help me with my anxiety or to help me with my anger, then I expect a level of strength or fortitude that I wouldn't have had the other day.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that makes sense to me. And that's and so that's how I pray. So I ask, hey, God, please help me to manage my anger or my responses to people. And what I'll find is I will somehow, some way develop a lack of emotional response to that person. I'll be kind of flat towards them. I won't be rude to them, but I just won't have the same emotions. And it's not some magical thing.
Yeah.
It's more so me choosing to do that, and me having the strength to maintain it and to not be bothered by this person. Sometimes you have to really pray that God help you with your anxiety, your anger, your frustration. And sometimes you got to pray that. And sometimes you have to be the bigger person, which is hard. But sometimes you got to be a big person and say, I pray that today my relationship with this person is different.
Wow.
And we don't do that enough.
We don't do that enough, and I fully agree with you on that. I think that I think, why do we think that prayer, we can pray for our health, we can pray for our marriage, we can pray for our finances, we can pray for everything, but we can't pray and ask God to give us the grace and the wisdom and the strategy to be able to deal with this particular person? Because what I'm saying is, if you cut off a whole section of a family, or you may say, like, because this is the type of stuff happens a lot of times. So so let's say you got a couple, right? And let's say the husband's father is legitimately toxic. Right. He, like, legitimately ain't no way around it. You the wife, and your father-in-law is legitimate jack. I mean, he's a butt. He is everything toxicness is. He's that, right? I can't talk today, but let me say this. But then everything your family is all good, right? And maybe it is. Maybe your family is legitimately better. But what it comes down to is, you have to say to yourself, is it fair that my husband can't be around his mama, the wife of the father, or can't be around his nephew with him no Christmas because his father is toxic? See, you gotta balance that thing out, and you gotta ask yourself, is that realistic? Because then when something happened on your side,
Yes.
Somebody in the driveway.
Yep.
Somebody in the driveway. Oh, that's called life. That's called remember this? Oh, that's called a shoe on the other foot. It's in the driveway right now. So my thing of it is you have to weigh all of that out. You have to judge yourself. And I need people to do this. Here's the question. How do you, here's a legitimate question for you to take to yourself in your prayer time and your reflection time. What do you do to contribute to toxic behaviors? What do you do to cause toxic environments? Again, there's a lot of people who run around here talking about toxic people when you're the toxic joker.
What if you're the toxic one?
You're the one.
That was my question.
I know people like that who be talking about folks. You be looking at them like,
yep. What if you're the
What?
toxic one?
I'll say this about that situation that you just talked about. And as I say all the time, you got to make sure that you learn how to pray and hear from God.
Yeah.
Because, we talk about balancing this thing out.
Yep.
One thing I have learned, and this is over my years of life, ministry, and everything else. One thing about human behavior, if there are no consequences, there's no change.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
so.
That's right.
yes.
If
yes.
you're that father-in-law,
yes.
and you're that butt,
Yep.
you're gonna stay that butt.
Yep. Yep.
As long as nothing changes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I have seen situations where the only way to induce that change is say, okay, you say it's not fair that my wife's kids or our kids don't get to spend time with your wife because you the butt. Well, guess what? You don't get to spend time with them either. And at a certain point, you gonna get tired of being by yourself and have to reevaluate your behavior. And so when we do bring them around there, if you don't appreciate it, guess what? We ain't coming back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you have to follow God on that. And I've seen that happen where we come, you act out, you won't see us again for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
We come back, you act out, it'll be a longer time the next time.
Yeah.
Until after a while, years go by, and then after a while, you recognize, oh, I'm the problem. But once again, you got to hear God on that, because otherwise, what you end up doing is subjecting your kids to something, and now they end up carrying a whole nother level of trauma, hurt, and everything else into a whole nother generation because somebody else wouldn't deal with their issues.
And I fully agree with you. I think that my only I wouldn't call it a pushback. My only caveat to that is to make sure that you're judging the weightiness of it properly. Is it? And
that's why I say hear from God.
You got to hear from God because
you got to hear from God on that.
Is if you, like, let's just say you got a person in your family who says stuff that is detrimental. Let's say you have a child who has a physical ailment, or let's just say for just for sake of the conversation, let's say you have a child who's hearing impaired, right? And you have a family member, whether it be an auntie or uncle or a grandparent or whoever, who is insensitive to the fact that this child has a hearing impairment, right? And they either make comments, which I've seen people do stuff like this, not necessarily a hearing impairment, but it's like, you forgot this boy has this, that, and the third, and you're frustrated, you're angry, you making these little comments without taking that into consideration. Those are the type of situations we say, hey, look, I know that's your mom, but guess what? Hey, we will not be bringing my son or my child back to this environment, right? Because your mom just know how to talk to people, and I cannot risk A, B, C, or D happening. Right. That's going to we're already working with this with our child. This can't happen any further. So I have to say, and this may be the wife or the husband, I can't subject my child to that. Right? That's right. But what if it's this right here? Something again, like I used earlier. Let's just say you are very liberal with your child. You don't believe in spanking. You don't believe in talking to make sure your tones. You want these parents who believe that if you say this, have to say it like this, or say it with a smile, and say it this way, and let children be free. And then you go to your old school grandparents' house who don't believe in that. Now your grandparents might say, well, that's Geneva's son. You know how she let them kids run wild.
That's a difference of opinions.
Yep. But not to that liberal person.
No. But that's literally a difference of opinions.
But the person, what I'm
Whether or
saying
not
to you is
you taking
that
that or
person
not-
don't see it that way. They
That's
see
what I'm
it
saying.
as, oh my
whether
God.
you think so or not, that's literally a difference of opinions. But this is one thing when you're talking about a child, like you said, that's hearing impaired or something more common.
Yeah.
You got a child that's heavier than
Right.
than others.
Right.
And then you got a grandparent or grandmother or grandfather that talks about that child's weight. Now you talk about something that's going to emotionally scar that child.
Yeah.
That's actually something that's abusive.
Yeah.
And we're not tolerating that.
Yeah.
So now if you talking, we got different parenting styles, that's a difference of opinion. And so now you got to figure out, if you don't want to put them in that environment, that's going to be on you.
But here's, watch this right
if
here.
they're being abusive, that's on them.
But here's the whole thing though. Here's the whole thing. Watch this right here. That parent who makes certain statements about a child's weight, that ain't abusive to them. They don't recognize that caused people, decades of counseling and emotional scars. They don't recognize that. But they just feel like, I said it. I'm trying to help you out. Or I said it because somebody needs to say it.
But when you have told them, don't make these comments, and they keep making them.
Oh yeah. Again,
then we have to separate that child from that person.
Exactly.
But guess what? That may or may not be easy depending on the relationship
and the situation.
Right. And who that person is.
Right.
You know, you're talking about a patriarch or a matriarch in the family. If they make comments about a particular child's weight, right? Guess what? That it may not be as easy to just say, hey, well, we're going to kind of wall them off against that family member when we go over to this particular person's house or go over for this particular family event. And I guess those are the times where I think you really have to have some hard conversations, if at all possible. Here's the problem. The problem is most people, young and old, are not truly reflective about their own actions. Most people feel as though this is the way I am and you should just deal with it. Most people believe that my way is the right way. So when you have that collision,
don't want to make hard decisions.
Right. Most people don't want to make a hard decision and say, okay, guess what? I can't. I love you, but I can't mess with you.
I'm not putting my kids in this environment.
I love you, but I can't mess with your brother like that. That's the hard conversations that you may have to have. But here's the thing, and is again, if you're talking about something it's a fine line. Because if you talk about something that's dangerous or something that's highly detrimental, then that's on another level. But again, you talk about preference. You talk about something. If you got a child that's on the thicker side, your granddad ain't the only person making little comments. So you got to weigh that out. How you deal with that in school? How do you deal with that on the job? Guess what? It's a lot of factors in it. Guess what? Here's the whole thing. Watch this right here. Watch this right here. Watch this right here. What if what was said is true? What if you're a young lady and you just wearing the wrong thing? You got the wrong clothes on. Nope, your mama ain't told you that, but your grandma said it. She said it in the wrong way. Grandma, come on, grandma. It's true, but you shouldn't have said it like that. Right? That's the thing.
But see, that's the thing about it. There's a way to say everything.
True that.
But some people
and
don't.
some people perfect the art of being tactless.
Yeah.
And that's called abusive.
Yes. I can agree with that. I had an aunt. She was in her 90s. She probably was in her early 90s, you know. But when we go to see her, because you're talking about weight, let's talk about it.
Okay.
She would say sometimes my weight fluctuates, and she would say, "Oh, you getting fat." You know, now she's 90 years old now. Did she know that hurt my feelings? No. Did I know it was true? Yes. But it's just the way that, you know, she would just, hey, you getting fat, you know. And it was like, that's the first thing you say after hello, you know. So was it true?
You would turn around and say,
you know, but it still hurt my feelings.
Somebody would have told you wrong. It's true.
You know. Yeah, and my father, he was just standing there because it was his aunt, you know, so it was my great aunt. So my father, he was oblivious to it, you know.
Oblivious to it mean he didn't see it or know it, or it didn't bother him.
Oblivious to
he didn't recognize that it was hurting.
That it was hurting my feelings, yeah. You know.
And how old are you at this point? You an adult or you a child?
I was an adult. Yeah, I was.
Okay,
an
I
adult.
got it.
You know, I know I was at least over 18, 19 because she was 90. You know, so I know I was like 8. I had to be. I might even been in my late 20s, like in my 20s somewhere around there.
This is, and I'm seeing based on the comments that this is a legitimate question. What do you do when an elder in your family makes comments about your weight, your husband's weight, your wife's weight, your child's weight, a family friend's weight, whatever that is?
Whatever it is.
What is the appropriate response to that person? You walk. Let me paint the picture based on the analogy or the recollection that Donna just gave. You walk into the room. And because my weight, I yo-yo, I go up and down, right? You walk in the door. Oh, so I see somebody eating real good. Woo-hoo! Somebody done got fat. I got the people who walk up to you and they grab your back. I see you looking your age or something like that. And it's like
can't get my arms around you no more.
Right.
You know, just little comments, and they're older. You know,
what is the appropriate response to an elder, someone in the family, who makes statements like that about you as an adult? Certainly, it's a different level when it's a child, for sure. It definitely for sure. That's malicious, I believe. But again, depending on what family you in,
exactly.
Certain families roll like that. Oh, look at a little fat little boy.
Well, see,
He's a little fat little self.
Oh, they think
that's
it's
the
cute.
thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's
It's
so
like-
fat. Look at him all chunky. Look at pork
grown
chop.
man,
Yeah.
as a
Look at
grown
little
man,
pork
like you
chop.
said, ever since I'm 18, you can say what you wanted to me because I can handle my own. But you ain't gonna say that to my kids.
Yeah.
We gonna have a conversation.
Yeah. So, but I think the kids are the extreme. So let's take the kids off the table. What do you say to that? What do you say to that family member who do that all the time?
Like I said, if you gonna say it to me, you can say what you want. Like I said, I can handle my own. And all depends on the mood I'm in and whether or not the Holy Spirit licensed me or not.
Yeah. That question becomes is, what does handling it on my own look like? This is for everybody in the comments. What does that look like?
All depends on the mood I'm in and whether or not the Holy Spirit, how tight a leash the Holy Spirit got today.
Kim NB said, thank you. My mood. Yup. She said, yup.
Yeah. All depend on how tight the Holy Spirit holding that day.
Yeah.
But I was raised, you know.
Because if he ain't paying attention, you might get something real quick. Before if he was looking the other way, I might tell you something before you catch me.
But I'll tell you what, if I would have said anything, my father would have had my teeth down my throat. I don't care how old it was if I said something to that aunt.
Okay.
No, she
see,
had like
off
free
limits.
reign. If my teeth would have been down my throat. I don't care how old I was.
Like you are, I got that reflex.
Yeah.
They come to me just like that. Yeah. I can break your health down so you'll never say that to nobody else again. Play with me if you want to.
And so then it becomes it's like, if you say that, so let's just say you walk in the house, right, and you got an aunt or cousin or uncle who says this. They're older, right?
Older.
So when you walk in the door, oh, somebody eating real good. And then you pop off. I see somebody losing all their teeth. I lost a couple more teeth. This shit look like, huh?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, like somebody their hairline slipping further and further up your head.
He said, yeah, I mean, real good. I see you got some quality wigs too.
Been wig shopping again, I see, huh?
Yeah. I like that wig you got on, girl.
Now guess
Go
what?
ahead.
Now guess what?
With your bad self.
Guess what? Guess what? Your daddy come over to you. Nah, come on now. You shouldn't have said your aunt right there.
No,
Daddy would say, you lost your mind.
What's wrong with you?
He would look at me and say, you lost your mind.
Go on, boy, go on.
He be like, don't you be talking to your aunt.
Imogene, get on my nerve or we won't come out of our mouth with somebody.
I think we out of time, but let me say this here. I think it is good for older people to judge yourself and think about the stuff you say, the behaviors, the way you act, And a lot of times in families and life, we go on for years and years or decades of behaviors, not fully recognizing how they affect other people, and then them be the main people. Oh, yeah. Nobody don't know how to come by and see nobody. Nobody don't know how to talk to nobody. Cause you mean as a rattlesnake.
Right.
Hold up, you was in the room with me when this happened. You remember this little lady walked up to me and was like, you gonna eat all that? I said I wouldn't have put it on my plate if I wanted.
Wait a minute, who said that? Where were we?
Remember we was at the funeral.
Somebody walked at the house? Wow.
And what did they say?
Now,
What was
I'm
their
legitimately trying to
expression?
remember now. I'm legitimately trying to remember.
What was their expression after that, Pastor Tuck? They just walked away, didn't they?
But you know what?
The little sassy one. You remember walked up and told, you gonna eat all that? I said I wouldn't have put it on my plate if I want.
But see, you know what though? That right there, I call that as a pre-baked response. That was authentically in the moment from you. But if you're a person who's sensitive about something, right? Or you're a person who has a wall up or you're concerned about something, if you know this is an issue for you, maybe what you need to do, here it is to prepare yourself in going around family. So what are your responses when somebody says A, B, C, and D? Now that's a response right there. That's a diffuser. That right there minimizes the situation. So if somebody walked to you and you a larger person and they say, what they say, Pastor, you gonna eat all that?
You gonna eat all that?
So somebody walks to you and say you gonna eat all that. That's a great way. I wouldn't have put it on my plate if I wasn't. Guess what? You diffuse that situation. You stopped it. You minimize it because that could have went a whole lot further.
And the whole reason why they saying stuff like that, they go around there poking folks because they want a reaction.
Right.
Correct.
They want to see they hurt you.
Right. Right. Now here's the thing. Now if you say something back to them, you know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
If you hit them. If you hit them like that, you know, hey, well, shoot, I know you know what I got on my plate. Could you smell everything? Look at your nose. Look at the son with a nose like that. If you say something like that, you know what I'm saying, or if you say that, because I've had some wicked thoughts. I've had people come to me and say certain things, and they like, and they'll make things. I say, yeah, that's why you ain't got no husband. That is right there. That's it. That's it. That's why you ain't met. Oh, now I get it. Now, hey, it's like, that's why your husband left. Now, if you say that, that's gasoline. That's. Oh, you just exploded the room with that comment.
Yeah.
So the best thing for you to do is to have some pre-baked responses. If you go home knowing, I know I done picked up some weight this year, and I know my aunt like to say certain things. So what's going to be my response? What's going to be my diffusing response to diffuse this situation? Or if I want to poke and move on situation, what's my little response right there? So you got your little wig and move like, you know, it's like whatever it is. or depending on what your family dynamic on is, that may be deemed as totally disrespectful. That may be deemed as totally inappropriate. That may cause a problem for your parents, for your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your brother, whatever that is. You have to make a determination in wisdom and godliness on how you will respond to it. Another great way to do it is, y'all, is silence. Silence is a wonderful communicator. Silence says
that nasty look and then turn around and walk off.
Turn around and walk off, or grab and come here, auntie. See, you always saying little stuff like that, and then a lot of time that will shut it down. And then you always have to remember is the people who say stuff like that. It's always a reason.
Oh, there
is.
Yeah,
because they're insecure.
It's always
because she ain't got no husband.
Yeah. There's a reason why
Did you say
people
that to
say
your husband? Oh, that's right. He ain't there no more.
Uncle went home to be with Jesus because he ain't want to be with Jesus.
dog.
Didn't I see your husband down at Lucy May's? My husband is here.
My husband is sitting there eating dinner. Where yours at?
Where-
Oh, okay. Oh, Jesus. That's when somebody over the corner like me. I'm over the side. Jesus. Stop.
My kids may be chunky, but they right here. They're yours. They're yours.
Little Terry still on the corner. Yeah, hey, all that. Again, y'all. All of that.
My baby might have one bad eye, but your baby don't have no eyes.
God.
Daily I shall.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut this
I might be
whole
fat, but
portion.
you're ugly. I can lose weight.
That's right. You sure? But you can't lose ugly.
You're going to look like that forever.
And again, here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. That type stuff. Determine what your response is going to be. Is it silence? Are you going to just love on them? Are you going to have a response for them? A pre-baked response? Are you going to give silence? You got to figure out what your response is going to be, because guess what? There's going to be a response to your response. That response may be to move on. That response may be to say nothing. That response may be to be shocked and awe, offended. That response may be to capitulate. That response may be to just totally flip and take full responsibility for what I said and what I did. You never know. The truth of the matter is, though, there is going to be a response, and you should be ready for that. So if you say something like that, if you say something like what Donna just said, first thing you would say, oh, wait a minute now. Hold on. You better get her. You better get her if I tell her something. Oh.
Joseph Morgan said, catch me on a bad day and you'll get the response, Jesus wept and you can too.
You might get this response. Just wait right here. I got to go to my trunk.
Oh, Jesus.
Just wait right here.
Stay right there.
I'll be right back.
Right there till I go to the trunk.
Right? I'll be right back.
Kim said, they poke but can't handle it. Yeah. And that is true. A lot of people who say stuff that they can't handle it at all.
That's true. That is very
that's what be getting me. I'm like, you sensitive as a mug.
Pop said, tell Uncle Chester, step outside and say that.
Come on outside. Come on outside, though.
You crying? You started it. You crying?
Kim said depends on who the elder is, because someone might get a response. Also depends on in the mood I am in. Yeah, It's again, these are family dynamics. Yeah, you know, and see when people say certain things, and sometimes it's just like, see, and sometimes it's good for you to just look at them and say, see, this is why people don't come see you.
Yeah. That's why you never have visitors.
Yep.
Yeah. That's why your visitors book is pretty light.
Yep. That's why you only see us at family functions. We don't come to your house.
Because you do stuff like this. You say stuff like that.
That's why you're lonely.
Yeah. So you consider that.
Hope you're ready for that nursing home life.
I was thinking that, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was more fearful. I was hurt, but I was more fearful of what my father would do to me if I would have said anything.
Guess what, Don? I guarantee you made a good decision.
I did.
Because
I'm still here.
You're still here.
That's why I know I made a good decision, because I'm still here.
But you made a conscious decision to not respond, and with good reasons why you didn't respond, because that would have put your father in a position, or that would have made your father mad, or that would have exacerbated the situation. That would have scaled it. Whatever the reason was, you made a decision that probably I would submit to you was the better decision.
Oh, yeah.
Your offense and what you carried away from it, it just would have been one part of it, but that's all it was, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the judgment call, because again, here's the thing, y'all. People do it every day in life.
That's right.
People do it. People make comments on folks' jobs about stuff. Guess what? You get up and go right back to work the next day. You might let nobody keep you from that $71,000 for that $106,000 you make every year. You wouldn't give a thing what they say. You won't care what Terry said. Supervisor Terry said, "No, I'm about to go get that check."
That's right.
Hey, they hiring over there where they paying 106 at?
Listen, you know it. You yeah, but guess what?
Word for the brother.
Guess what?
Word for the brother.
Watch this right here. Watch this right here, Pastor. Right? How many people walking away from good opportunities, good jobs, because of your feelings?
Ooh, you got offended. You got offended.
Sometimes dealing with your family is a setup. Is a some Navy SEAL level training for dealing with your boss that you about to come into contact with in 6 years. You ain't even met this joker yet.
Especially nowadays.
Yep.
But boy, it's about to be a job that's gonna change your life. New levels of finances, new skill, new career, and you gonna let Terry, Supervisor Terry, who half a racist and who body shames people slightly, or underhanded, or say little stuff, or make suggestions that are based on what? Hey, if you ever want to get that weight in check, let me know. What did Terry say? If Terry just suggests an app, he suggests a workout app. Hey, I'm on this workout. You want Terry? What did that mean, Terry? What does that mean? But if you're a dude who like, oh no, I'm gonna deal with Terry, your wife a Negro. Better go get that. 106.
You gonna let Terry
Jamal
between you and your
Some of
money?
the stuff I done dealt with, bruh. In the job, bruh.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you, I'm a little bit more ruthless professionally. There's stuff I done said to other comedians I would never say in my family.
Oh,
I done,
bro. I don't know. Almost broke.
but that's
I
the
almost broke some
world.
stuff
That's
off
the
at the
world
job.
that you But that's the world that you're in. That it seemed like comedy or whatever. That hey, you got to shoot your shot.
Yeah, it's some comedians.
You got to take it or you don't.
It's some comedians It's some comedians and some gospel artists I done almost put my hands on.
There's some engineers I done offered outside, bro.
Yeah,
I don't know what you talking.
Yeah, say that one more time.
Yeah.
This is
What you say, bro?
intense arc right here. If I lean you, say that again. Say that one more time. Yeah. Cause that means if you escalate this right here, I'm about to drag you, son. It is what it is. Reasoning has left the building. I'm ready for whatever the consequences are. So, but I've never done that in my
boss's office one day. I told him, I said, look here, you better handle your boy.
Yeah.
I said, you gonna need law enforcement up here.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's about to go down.
And to that point right there, let me just say this right here. Oh my God. This is a valid point, I think. We have to consider that your responses to people, what you say to people, even in some of these professional environments, because you'll never know what people might do. And then also too, on the flip side of that,
That's right.
you need to be preparing your young people. I think one of the biggest things we have today is a lack of response to strong oppression, to strong, harsh environments, harsh corrections, situations that's wrong. Hey man, you can't. They fired you, and it was wrong for that. But man, you can't go up and shoot up that place. You can't. You ain't gotta give no pass to go kill people, drag nobody, and beat nobody down. I'm just saying.
Right.
It's and a lot of times because the Joker was sheltered, so he ain't never dealt with a butthole in the family. Maybe again, y'all, the preparation in life sometimes is family.
That's right.
So your son is 25 and he can't handle nothing because you ain't never let him handle nothing in the family. You controlled every coach he was around. You controlled every teacher he was around. You ain't took him back to your mama house because your mama said something that was inappropriate. True enough, it was. But that was training. That was preparation. Because now he in the job market where you can't control. He's dealing with a supervisor that you can't control. But he ain't got no skin for that because you thwarted development. How many people are thwarting development through the holiday? How many people your child going home for the holiday is preparation for later? Your aunt with the saucy mouth is preparation for your mother-in-law 15 years from now with the saucy mouth. You can't control her. it's all relative. It's a lot of all things work together for the good of those who diligently seek him.
Amen.
So I don't think that not everything is good, not everything is God's work, but sometimes even when it's not, he work it in.
He works it in.
So I'm just saying to y'all right now is go to the house for the holiday.
That's right.
Your uncle gonna say some bull jive. Be ready for it.
Just
be ready for it.
Have your plan.
Mm-hmm.
Have your plan ready to go.
Yeah, have your response ready. Your uncle, you walk in though, he's like, who look at that little fat little boy? Hey, bro, bruh. Oh, I'm sorry. Did y'all hear Siri say Eunice's name?
I didn't. I just heard it ring.
Praise God. All right, that's probably my cue to end the show. All right, we are 45 minutes over, but we started late. And we had technical difficulties. So we still gave y'all a full show. All right, fam, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Me and Jaleel got to install today. We got to get up out of here. Jesus.
I want to say this to everybody before we go out. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Indigenous Peoples Day. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day. And enjoy food, enjoy family, enjoy fun.
Yeah.
And just, have that gratitude in your heart as you go through to the end of the year, because we're getting ready to go into 2024. We don't want to take all of this stuff that we had in 2023 into 2024.
Yeah.
So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's be kind.
There it
caring,
is.
Loving of people.
This is a no cuss them out holiday season. Don't cuss nobody out Thanksgiving and
Please
Christmas.
Don't cuss them out, just knock them out.
But if you should have to.
We ain't talking no more. Day for talk is over.
If you should have to. Okay.
Leave.
Just slide them across the floor and put a piece of turkey on their chest. Got something to eat when they wake up.
When in doubt, y'all go sit in the car.
Sit in the car. Don't let your family out and become a Tyler Perry movie.
Right.
Tyler Perry is the expert at writing mess to people. Don't be a Tyler Perry character. Don't be the scenes from Why Did I Get Married?
Hilarious. No, we love y'all. We thank y'all. Enjoy your holiday. We'll be off for the rest of the week, y'all. So we'll see y'all next week. And what's the show next week? We got a good one coming up next week. What is the show next week? I forgot.
I didn't. I have it here. We are.
Did you get knocked out during the holiday?
You might have it over there.
I do want to make a
You
quick
might have it on
announcement.
that paper over there.
Yes. Go ahead, Pastor.
Virginia State University has been selected as the first HBCU to host a presidential debate 2024.
Oh, wow.
What?
Wow.
Yep.
For 2024. That's awesome. Congratulations, VSU.
Yes, congratulations.
Wow.
Yes.
How about that?
The best HBCU, buddy.
Well, we won't go with that, but but praise God.
You see
You should say that. You should say
You
that.
see what it said? You see what it said?
You should say
You see
that.
what it said?
You should say that.
You see what it says?
You should say it.
You see what it says?
Y'all, we gotta get up out of it. We love y'all. We thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. We celebrate y'all. Thank y'all for y'all patience, and we'll see y'all next week. Enjoy your holiday. Enjoy your family, even the ones who are harsh, even the one people who are hard to deal with. Enjoy your family. We love y'all. Until next week, we gonna see y'all when we see y'all. Happy Thanksgiving, family.
Peace.